Hello again from my front porch. Well, today I have a guest here with me, and this is the first time I've actually had a guest using my tripod setup thingy, so we just spent probably more time getting the thing set up than we're going to actually spend filming. But it's kind of like when Abby Normal plays. I haven't timed how much time it takes you to set up, but sometimes it probably feels like
forever.
It takes as much time to set up and tear down or more than when you're actually on stage. That part probably goes by real fast.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So speaking of which reason I mentioned Abby Normal, for those of you, one, two, maybe three people on the planet who don't know who Abby Normal is, they are this incredible band that plays here in the central Iowa region, and I'd say probably beyond. I don't know how far away you guys have gone with the band, but here in the Des Moines area especially, you mention Abby Normal and everybody's like, oh yeah, they're awesome, they're fantastic, I've heard of them, they're great, you know, blah blah blah, and so this is Abby, Jana. Now Abby Normal, of course, has the tie-in with Young Frankenstein. Yes, you know, with the brain thing, the scene from Young Frankenstein.
Hi.
But because they spelled the name A-B-B-Y, Normal, for the name of the band, people assume that Abby is an actual person. And because Jana is the lead singer for the band, they assume she must be Abby.
And the only female.
And the only female. So she just kind of runs with it.
That's true.
But this is Jana West. Her and her husband Tim are great friends of mine. They live not far away here south of Ankeny, and so we're getting together today because she and Tim are graciously joining me for the Iowa Cubs game today using the Waldinger Company tickets. Looking forward to that.
Thank you, Waldinger.
Yes, thank you, Waldinger, because they're box seats behind home plate area there, and so
nice.
You know we're gonna have a good time. But the reason that we're no, I mean, first of all, Jana's just fun to chat with. She's great, and look, she brightens up. She makes the whole video look that much better, because she's here. But beyond that, though, I just think it's really interesting. I really got to stop to think about this. People who are in bands that like you, and you folks have a fairly busy schedule. It's not every weekend that you're performing, but it's almost. It seems like it sometimes.
Sometimes it feels
Fridays, Saturday. Do you do any Sunday stuff?
in the summer we do some Sundays and some weeknights.
Yeah. But so when you stop and think about it, most work people, the 9 to 5 people, when do they cut loose and relax? Friday night and Saturday night. When do they perform? Friday night and Saturday night. So the times when people like me get to just unwind are times when they're actually still working. So then they have to look for other, and this really became more prevalent to me. I'm not whining, I'm not complaining, but as I've started to help Abby Normal with their merchandise stuff and going to as many of their shows as I could, I began to realize that I'm giving up a lot of my time that I normally would have been out just socializing stuff. And again, not complaining, I enjoy doing it, it's fun. But I thought, I've only been doing this for a little snippet of time. You guys have been doing this band thing for a long time, for many, many years. And so you have to deal with this all the time. So anyway, I got to thinking about how folks that are in bands have such little amount of time to spare for other things. So like they squeeze in things like today, you're going to the iCups. Yesterday, you went out kayaking with some friends.
Yes, great fun.
Kayaking is great. I've only done it one time, but I loved it. I look forward to doing it again. That's fantastic. Especially the two-person kayaking. That, as opposed to just individual. I like
to be the one in charge, so I like to have my own kayak.
Oh, you do it all on your own, huh?
Oh,
just
yes.
Zip away from everybody.
That's right.
That's
right.
Yeah. So then the other times though that they have are limited, and so you have the free time that you invest in stuff. You have to make sure that it's maximized and it's actually for something that matters to you, that's important. And so I wanted Jana to talk about one of the things that I know is really important to her, that she does devote a lot of her time to, and that is her love for animals and her concern for the treatment of animals. And so I thought, you know what, Jana, well, as long as you're coming over and we're getting together to head down to the iCups, before we head out, I'd like to have you just share with us a little bit about animals and treatment of animals.
My mom.
Oh, that's okay.
My mom gave me a book that I wrote when I was 9 years old for a school project. It's titled All About Me. And one of the things I talk about in that 10-page book was if I won the lottery, what I would do with my money. And as a 9-year-old little girl, I wrote in that book that I would buy lots of food for all the abused animals.
Aww.
So that's been in me for for a very long time, and for many
Now,
years.
do you remember that at that point in life being?
Yes, I wanted to be a veterinarian at that point in my life, and then I went to school and realized I'm not very good at school. So, but anyway, when I started to realize I had more day hours free, when I quit my full-time job to do the music more full-time, I started evaluating, like you said, what do I want to be involved in, and how do I use my time wisely? And a friend told me about puppy mills. I had no idea what a puppy mill was 4 or 5 years ago.
Doesn't it sound nice though? Doesn't it sound sweet? A puppy mill. See, it sounds so nice, but it's not.
It's the term puppy mill is meant to only be about breeders, not all breeders, but breeders who cut corners when it comes to the care and nurture and living environment, so that they can have more profit. So they often put animals in cramped cages, wire cages, where their feet are damaged,
more abusive situations,
without air conditioning or heat control.
Yeah, like out here on the front porch, there's no air conditioning out here.
And elements, limited or filthy living conditions, and limited or no veterinary care. And then they market these animals to people like you and me, or seeking a puppy. And then they sell them for high dollars, and people like you and I who would want to buy a puppy have no idea what's in the background.
And then people wonder why they buy a dog and the dog is standoffish or aggressive
or sick
or
Very sick.
or you know, I've not personally experienced it, but I've heard stories of people who, you know, they get a dog that seems all happy until like the newspaper comes and they grab the paper to start reading it, and the dog will run in fear or maybe even mess themselves on the floor or something because that dog may have been abused by a rolled up newspaper, things like that. And a new owner doesn't understand why their pet reacts that way, and it could be because of the abuses when they were being raised.
Yeah, I mean, that can happen to anybody, whether it's an animal or a human. Things in our past can affect our behavior now. But so what I decided to do was research it and get involved in some grassroots organizations here in Iowa that are trying to make people aware.
So what are some of these groups? Give us the shout outs.
Iowa Friends for Companion Animals and Iowa Voters for Companion Animals here in Des Moines. You can look up nopuppymills.org or .com, I'm not sure which. Bailing Out Benji is in Ames, and they do a great work there too. There's all kinds of groups. Really, there's a lot of awareness for people who care about animals, but not very much awareness when it comes to consumers. Iowa is actually the second largest puppy mill state in the nation. There's more puppy mills in Iowa than any other state in the nation other than Missouri.
That is not a good statistic for us to be a leader in.
No, it's quite embarrassing.
So is that because we lack laws that other states have against that, or why does Iowa seem to be such a hospitable state to puppy mills?
That's a very good question. We have animal cruelty laws, but they're not enforced. The USDA is in charge of licensing and inspecting Iowa puppy mills. That's a nationwide program. That's not a local program, and their budget is very limited, and so some puppy mills are rarely ever inspected, and when they are inspected and violations happen, sometimes the follow-up can be years.
Wow.
And sometimes the follow-up is next to nothing. And so these big, huge puppy mills continue to operate and make a lot of money, and the puppies suffer, and nobody knows.
And then even if they're found guilty, are the fines significant,
they're
or are they minor?
pretty minimal. They're pretty minimal. These are multi-million-dollar organizations. Some of them, big factories is what they are.
So if somebody, again, just like it's probably the same 2, 3, 4 people who don't know who Abby Normal is. They're like the same 2, 3, 4 people that watch this show. But for those that would be curious, are there, don't necessarily want to badmouth certain places that sell things, whatever, but are there places you would recommend? Where's the best place someone should go if they're looking for a new pet, where they will either avoid something raised in a puppy mill or something, an animal that has been maybe helped after being in a puppy mill?
Good. A. Heinz 57 is one of my favorite organizations locally. They're in Adel. They're in the middle of a fundraiser trying to expand their organization right now to house. They take dogs who are in crisis and either temporarily house them or then take them to shelters that can keep them. Often they have mothers and the mothers give birth, and then they have puppies that they're trying to find homes for. They have a really great fostering program. You can sign up to foster an animal. They'll take care of all the medical bills, all the food bills, and until you figure out whether it's going to work for you, or until they find another home. What I would say is never, 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 ever purchase a puppy from someone who's advertising on the web or a retail store, because you have no idea where those dogs are coming from. If you're going to buy from a breeder, there are quality breeders in Iowa. They're usually going to want to know you as much as you want to know them. They're not going to say, "Hey, meet me at the Walmart parking lot." They're going to say,
"That's probably a red flag then."
Big red flag. They're going to say, and they're not going to deliver it to your door either. They're typically going to want you to come and meet the animal in its environment, meet the family, meet the parents of the dog. They usually won't have but a couple of breeding parents.
Yeah.
When they have multiple breeds, that's another red flag. Oh, we've got this breed and this breed and this breed. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? How can you have that many breeds? That's another huge red flag.
I would imagine most breeders really, good breeders. I should qualify. Most good breeders, that they're not just raising the animal to raise the animal and make money. They actually care about the animal they're raising, and so they really do want to make sure that that animal is going to a good home.
Exactly.
As well as, that you're finding an animal that you like. They want to make sure the animal likes you too.
Yes, I know a local breeder who speaks about she's interested in a specific breed. She cares very much about the quality of the breed, the health of the dogs. And when she has dogs that are adopted, she stays in touch with the family. She talks about the kids of her dog like their family or extended family, and that's the kind of people you want to be. But the thing is, there's thousands of dogs who need a home and can be adopted. There's an occasional behavior issue, but I think it's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, well, as you pointed out, all of us, even people, we all have behavior issues.
Every now and then, just need a little love and understanding.
Those people that say, I don't like being around people because of their drama. It's like, hello, if you're breathing, you have drama. Hello.
I'm afraid that's true.
And it goes for animals too. So, well, anyway, it's a little warm out here on the front porch today.
I think we're starting to glisten.
Yes.
Are we glistening?
But we have to get used to it because we're going to be sitting out in the stadium. It's going to be like this anyway. But I won't subject Jana to continuing to be on camera while she's glistening. So we'll go ahead and wrap up. But thank you very much for coming in, for stopping, for being a willing participant to the front porch segment here. And really, it's been very interesting to talk about.
Thank you for asking such good questions. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, that's it. We're gonna get wrapped up, get everything. We have to still go get Tim too. He's at work downtown, so we gotta go pick up Tim and make our way to the stadium. And hopefully, we hope to get there a little bit early ahead of the crowd because it's July 3rd. And a lot of people took the day off, or at least the afternoon off. I took the afternoon off, and are probably going to try to get there early too. And so we want to make sure we don't have to walk I actually have a free parking pass in the main lot right by the stadium. This part of the package that Waldinger has. The problem with that is they actually don't have as many parking spaces as they give out passes for that lot.
Oh, I see how that works.
So it's kind of like booking on United. So we're going to try to get there early so they don't drag my car out of the lot. All right. So with that, I'm going to let you go, and I'll see you next time from my front porch.